We've all got that one friend whose charisma can shift the entire vibe in the room. In Hollywood, that friend is Matthew McConaughey. These are the best moments when his energy was just too good to handle. I don't know if you guys have seen all my work, but no. Hang on. Once again, did you notice earlier I was nominated for the Best Love Sex Scene? But did you notice that you didn't win? You'd think McConaughey would spend most of his alone time thinking about his lines, but during an interview with Conan O'Brien, he revealed there are a few things he considers far more important. I haven't had to test it out yet, but I've got a theory on this. Let's take a grizzly bear for instance. Now, let's say you got a knife. You get a knife. Let's give 8 to 10 inches of a blade. That's fair. Okay. You've given this a lot of thought. You think about like, okay, me and a grizzly, how am I going to do it? This is pretty fascinating. Okay, very intriguing. So, a grizzly is coming at you. I'm a grizzly. Most people are going to go back. If he's going to get you, here's the thing. Now, when you stand up, give me your big wingspan. I come inside. He wraps around me, right? You're going to kiss me for a second there. Boom. I pull up into the heart. And now is where the problem starts because I believe that after I got your heart up through your rib cage, all your weight's going to bring us back down this way. This way. Boom. And now, and Matthew, can I just say to anyone tuning in right now, this is not what it looks like. I've worked with you. I've tried to kiss you, successfully and unsuccessfully. I've been directed by you in a short film and also to the exit door of many bars. So Hanny, here is to your decade of hotness. I'm glad to say that I knew you the decade before as well. This was the moment Matthew McConaughey made history. I hear you, man. But how are we giving ourselves too much credit? Congratulations. You're the first guy to put bare feet on this desk. Oh yeah. Want to congratulate you. Thank you. Yeah. I was at home. Yeah. Doing what? In Austin, Texas. I was playing a little music. Banging on some bongos. What time of day was it? 2:37 in the a.m. So said the report. Wow. On a Monday morning. So the police come, they knock on the door, you let them in. What happened? Well, no, I don't. They didn't really knock. They came on in, and And I looked up and saw two, that familiar figure, and it's blue, and you go, oh, that's a cop. Oh, I'm going to turn this down. Turned down and said, what the hell are you doing in here? And before I knew it, I was kind of cuffed and put against the wall. Yeah. You were naked. Is that also part of the deal? I was buck naked, girl. Wow. If you think intimacy and a meditation app don't belong in the same sentence, Michael Bublé may disagree. Does Matthew know that he plays a special part in your life? No, probably not. Please. I play a special part in your life. Can't wait to hear this. Tell us. Well, I'm my wife and I sleep with you almost every night. Yes. There's an app called Calm. He has the most beautiful voice. And I turn it on and I just hear, well, hello everybody. It's me, Matthew McConaughey. I'm going to tell you a bedtime story. And I just do this. Oh, really good. My wife, who's from Argentina, she always goes like, you have the man talking again. The man is talking in the bed again, mate. Matthew McConaughey may already carry serious presence, but it's a different story when he walks into a room with his other half. He and Brazilian actress Camila Alves have been married for over a decade now. And Mike Myers once described what it's actually like running into the two. So he taps you on the tap, the shoulder says come and join my wife Camila, and I was like, oh no, I'm good you guys. And he goes come on, they're lovely. They said that they're in Los Angeles staying at this hotel that I'm staying at to have a couple's weekend. So immediately I'm like, well don't talk to me when you have 3 kids you don't get to drink that much So I had like 2 drinks and I was like loaded and I said I'm going back up to the room now. And they said so are we right? And I thought okay. And so they said, well, why don't you just ride in the elevator with us? And it's the world's smallest elevator. They were going to the 6th floor and I was on the 6th floor. They hit the button and they're like, what floor you going to, buddy? And I'm like, 6. Then they said, what room number are you in? I'm like, "Oh, number 69. And I thought, they must think that's like some swinger code or whatever. And he didn't know what to say, but he's a super lovely guy, so he just went, "Yeah, baby." I was like, one thing I appreciate about you is your ability to apply meaning to almost anything, including a wet dream. You know, you talk about floating down the Amazon River. You're wrapped in pythons. You're being circled by crocodiles and freshwater sharks. And then that inspires this 20-day pilgrimage to Peru. Now, I once had a wet dream, right, where I'm being chased by knights and archers through a castle, right? What would you do with a sign like that? Like, do I need to get an atlas and go somewhere? I think you might need to get a membership at Medieval Times. Sounds like you sleep pretty well over there. If you didn't know, Snoop Dogg has been in a movie before, now you do. He shared the screen with Matthew McConaughey in The Beach Bum. What was the most notable thing Snoop did during your work time together? He snooped me. It was a scene where I'm going to snoop. I've got writer's block and Snoop has the magic weed, right? Uh-huh. I go to Snoop and I go to the prop man, make sure I've got prop weed. Now, prop weed is not real weed. It's like crushed oregano and stuff. So, we get in the scene. It's about a 6-minute scene. Fast back and forth. All of a sudden, at the end he goes, "Yo, Moondog." And that's my character. That ain't prop weed. That's Snoop weed. I went, "Oh, you son of a gun." Now, the next 9 hours were a lot of fun, but I don't believe he used one word in the English language. And apparently working with him was exactly what you'd expect. Snoop Dogg later shared what that moment looked like from his point of view. You said, "I rapped a lot." You rapped for 13 hours straight. And I came back to work. I asked you, I said, "Man, I'm a little hazy on how last night went. How'd it go? What did I tell you?" Snoop says, "Oh, you was great, Moondog. You hit 4 out of the park home runs. So, you have to just the first thing that comes to your mind, you say it and then you hit this." Okay. First thing that comes to your mind. What's the weirdest thing you've done to make money? It's also illegal, so I'm not telling you. Besides making love, showering, swimming, or playing bongos, what is something else you enjoy doing naked? Cooking if we're not deep frying. Anything. All right. Many artists thrive on spontaneity, believing that creativity flourishes through unpredictable outbursts and improvisation. That's partially true until it isn't. Matthew McConaughey learned that firsthand during the making of Scorpion Spring. So I said, I'm not going to read this script. Scorpion Spring. I'm not even going to read the scene. Cut to I'm on the set of Scorpion Spring about to shoot that scene. I grabbed the sides. I'm on my mark. We're about to say action. I have a peek. 1 page, 2 pages, 3 page, 4 page monologue. My guy in Spanish. I feel this bead of sweat come up on the back of my neck. For context, here's the scene McConaughey was talking about. Did you know that when people watch the trailer for Tiptoes, the first time you see it, you're like, what the is happening? Like, hi, I'm Rolf. I'm his brother. We're twins. Are your parents? Yeah. It can tear them apart. I think you could have let me know that everyone in your family's they're not midgets, they're dwarfs. What the trailer is so good. I've never seen the trailer. This is so good. Just get really serious. Patricia Arquette and in the role of a lifetime, Matthew McConaughey, Tiptoes. Come on. What the? Matthew McConaughey is just as known for his philosophical tangents as he is for that unmistakable Texas accent. Most people sit and watch him talk. Woody Harrelson, on the other hand, hasn't got the time. He's method. You know that. What does that mean? Well, okay, but whatever, dude. You know what? You know what I'm talking about. When we were shooting that, he was Rust Cole. And I remember saying to you before we started filming, I'm like, people are going to expect to laugh with us. You know, we got to throw some jokes in here. And he's just like, MHM. Yeah. And I'm like I'm waiting for him to say, yeah, you're totally no. He just yeah. And I'm like, oh, this mother. If you've ever wondered where Matthew McConaughey gets that charisma, you might have his parents to thank. In an interview with Howard Stern, Matthew explains how his father kept that fire burning right up until the very end. Your dad always said, I'm going to go out probably banging your mom. He said, boys, When I go, I'm going to be making love to your mother. And he did. He called the shot. Your dad knew how he was going to die, and he actually did it. He did it. Did he have a heart attack? Had a heart arrhythmia. Yeah. The paramedics are covering him, and all the neighbors are out in the street, and he's going out the garage down. So, what's the sensible thing to do at 7 a.m. in the morning? My mom's out there half naked ripping the sheet off him. Get that sheet off of him. You're going to see how Big Jim went out. I hope he had a boner at that point. I do too. I was in kindergarten. My mom's a kindergarten teacher. She and my buddy John Griffith says, Hey, Matt. Want to go play on the monkey bars? And I ran out and said, yeah. And halfway to the monkey bars, I feel this hand on my shoulder. Bam. Get slammed to the ground. I look up. It's my mother in my face. And she's like, what are you doing? I said, I'm going to play on the monkey bars with John. She goes, who is? I said, I am. She goes, what's your name? I said, Matthew. She goes, don't you ever answer to Matt again. I named you Matthew from the Bible. I was like, yes, ma'am. So, your own mother, I know she likes to visit you on set. Did she visit you on this set? Yes, she did. She comes to me and says, who's the person on set that can make it happen? Who's the one with the money? And I'll go like that guy. And I've learned to send her to the wrong people sometimes. But even then, her pitch is this remake of The Graduate. What? What's so funny? What's so funny? No, it's a great idea. Look, I'm the Anne Bancroft character. Matthew is the Dustin Hoffman. And what does everyone right away say? Wait a minute. That's pretty bent. She's immediately like, oh, knock it off. I've seen it before. It's not that big of a deal. One story about your dad. The bet involving your brother. Do you know this story? I mean the bicycle. The motorcycle. Yeah. Another way my dad did great business. Our upbringings are so similar in some ways. Are you getting laid? Your mom didn't adjust immediately. No. I bet you may have some of these stories. No, sincere and good intentions, but you just don't understand it, do you, Mom? People start to get interested in my life and my history as has happened. My mom shows up in these newspapers and saying these things. I'm like, Mom, you keep that, that's between us. People are going to be coming to you, want to know things about my life, but keep what should be private ours. Okay. All of a sudden, the next Thursday night, I'm watching hard copy and there's my mom giving an escort through my bedroom. This is where we caught him first sleeping with so-and-so, did this. I call her and she goes, oh, I didn't know you'd see it. Here's the thing about you road testing the posing pouch. The posing pouch. You walked around to make sure that it wasn't falling out of it. What I did do, which a lot of us did, is you put one of those on and all of a sudden you find your body kind of gets a little inverted. I remember going, and I wasn't the only one that did this. You go, I have to walk out there amongst the crew and have small, normal conversations like, so how you doing after lunch? Hey, did you see the game this weekend? I said I got to go out and try to have some small talk in this thong without flinching. And it was hard because I wasn't, but it was.